Crack it open, feel the thrill. OND Light's the perfect chill. Great content, less filling. It's the vibe you've been missing. OND Light, sit back, relax.
So what we're talking about today is villains, because they are a pivotal portion of every story. And
Every Thanksgiving
we did
episode special needs a good topic about villains.
Yeah, like your Uncle Harry who starts going into politics right in the middle of dinner, and you're just trying to get some turkey, and he's right up in your face, beer breath right on you, telling you about how great his ideas are, and you're like, I just want this cranberry sauce. Can you take one step back?
Just one backwards.
I don't care about any of this. I just want to get drunk on this turkey and watch football.
You can let me do anything today, Uncle. It's that. So yeah, the villains. Now, yes, we did an episode about villains once already, but we talked about villains and what makes them villains and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah,
this time, we're going to talk about a little bit different, a different characterization of villain that doesn't get used a lot, but is very interesting when it does. And that is villains who do acts of kindness.
It doesn't get used so little that these guys didn't even have any examples. So
I have examples.
I had one.
I did research before we got here. You were with me.
that's true.
I got one.
All right,
so
well, guess what? We're
let
going to
me
go
go
ahead and
first.
start with Joey over
Wait,
here about his villains.
What if mine gets
that
stolen?
yeah,
It's about to.
It's going to be. I already know it. Go ahead. You were villains who have their greatest act of kindness or
So,
kindness acts they've done.
Picture this.
I'm picturing it.
Your
My eyes are
mom.
The
closed, I'm ready.
galaxy.
The galaxy.
It's overrun by a galactic empire ruled by an old nutsacky bitch in a black robe.
You were going to use this as your first one?
And he says, I'll turn you to the dark side, son of Vader, and then we'll rule the galaxy together. Maybe I'll even take your body, because we don't know what's going to happen in the sequels yet.
That's exactly. I remember.
You remember that
watching
line?
it when it came out in
And then
theaters,
he's like,
you know?
no!
I hate that.
I want that. We don't want sequels.
Disney.
and then Darth Vader.
He's seeing visions.
And if you don't know who Darth Vader is, he's like the greatest villain of all time.
Yeah, I would definitely
Standing
say.
there in his black
sure.
armor with his James Earl Jones voice.
Mhm.
Rip. Watching all this shit play out.
Yeah.
Palpatine's
Yours.
like, die, Skywalker! Shoots his lightning at him.
Your Palpatine is on, man.
And he's like, well, I'm not just going to stand here and watch my son die. So in a great act of kindness, Vader switches sides, picks Palpatine's ass up, dumps him in a reactor, saves the galaxy.
Well, good that did.
You know, it was good for like 30 years.
It was.
Hey.
Was.
30 years.
Well, hey.
Just like in D&D. Anyways, let's talk about that.
Oh my God, I would kill you.
But do you guys agree that that was an act of self-sacrifice and kindness, and it should be on this list?
Big time. And actually, it's a little bit different.
Did I take it from both of you? At the same
No.
time?
You didn't take. So I actually specifically, just to start off, I thought you wanted examples of people who did an act of kindness but still kept to their evil-natured character.
Well, some of the ones I have on my list are like
do that too, but I now see
Some of it is a
that
redemption.
both are
Yeah,
good
yeah.
options. I didn't know that both were okay, so I have more options now,
Yeah.
which is great. But anyway, yeah, no, I mean that's like, I don't want to say it's one of the biggest acts of kindness anyone could ever do, but it's self-sacrifice, which is obviously a big gesture.
Big Jester.
A big
My
gesture.
favorite Critical Role character.
Big gesture.
The truck driver from Campaign 2.
Yeah.
Howdy,
Yeah.
Ford. I'm here to drive this Peterbilt truck.
How are we still going back to D&D right now? Yeah, Darth Vader, again, like you said it, I mean, one of the most scary and intimidating villains of our time, generation, life, whatever. I mean, that character is written amazingly. You know, like if George Lucas did one thing phenomenally, it was write Darth Vader, you know, and to see that evil guy through all these years, the thing that turns him back around is, well, it's actually the thing that pretty much set him on the path to become Darth Vader. The thing that made him that is the thing that brought him back.
Damn.
If essentially we were to sort of give it a full circle.
That's a real world.
You know, the sad
Um,
thing is that Mace Windu was gonna make him Jedi Master after they killed Palpatine.
Yeah, he would have been like, you know what, kid, you made it.
I trust you.
You helped us find a Sith Lord,
Yeah.
but
Dumb. Anyways, mine.
I even, if I
we're
had
talking
to,
about Darth Vader.
if I
Give us your
had to
opinion.
approve of it right now, not knowing anything, if you wanted to have some kids, I'd be down with it.
Because
Mace Windu for no reason whatsoever. It's like, if you wanted to have
I feel
kids,
like
bro.
Mace Windu would be the most down with it because he has the purple lightsaber, which means he's more in touch with his emotions.
You'd be like, you've been.
He'd be like, yo, I saw you
you've been
eyeing
fucking around
Padme,
with
bro.
the Senator, huh?
Yeah, I saw you eyeing.
I got
Senator
13
Padme.
million kids. Every time I go out on a Jedi mission, I'm laying
I
it.
just fucking, bro.
There's nothing against Jedi's. Fucking.
Man, if we
it's
were
just
all the
about
way back to
attachment.
episode 4 of this podcast, we're like, let's go back through the list of Star Wars characters.
can be married, can have families. You just have to be able to.
You have no attachment.
Separate
You can't.
yourself from.
You have to leave them there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If it's them or the galaxy,
You got to spread your
Choose the
midichlorians,
galaxy.
but you gotta-
Spread them midichlorians, brother. Give us your opinion on the Darth Vader kindness.
No, I mean that's like one of the best examples of like villain turned good. You
Yeah.
guys remember when Doc Ock from Spider-Man
That one I did have. Yours.
takes over Peter Parker's body, but also gets his memories.
God,
and
I hated that arc.
but
No, this is not the one I have.
so Doc Ock takes over Peter Parker's body.
This is a
um,
different one.
and sort
Superior
of
Spider-Man.
and becomes Spider-Man because he gets all of Peter Parker's memories and everything, and he's so weighed down by like the selflessness of Peter Parker that he becomes Spider-Man until Peter Parker gets him out of his body.
Is that such a comic? I assume.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a comic run.
Wow, I have not known that story.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
that just goes to show how fucking beast
How is that
Peter
an
Parker
act of
is.
kindness though of Doc Ock?
He becomes good.
I don't know. I think the act of I'm gonna take your body is not kindness.
The
Yeah,
initial,
you know.
yeah, the initial.
Him being like, oh, now I can be the good guy, and it's the wow, this is a different feeling.
That Doc Ock was never the same.
No.
Yeah. Well, let's keep this Doc Ock boat
Oh,
rolling.
you also have a Doc Ock.
I did. Yeah, it's a completely different doctor.
Okay.
Completely different doctor. No
Completely
relation.
different doctor.
Movie,
No relation.
movie Doc.
It is. It's movie Doc Ock. And if all of you have ever seen the movie Spider-Man, where
Amazing Spider-Man? No.
Spider-Man 2?
Spider-Man
2.
It's Spider-Man 2.
Yes.
If you're thinking about the original
best
Doctor.
Spider-Man movie.
Spider-Man 2 where Doc Ock,
Spider-Man 1 is the
he's making the arm, he's got his arms and stuff, but they all start to control him and create this chaos within him. And in the last moment of like himself, he realizes, oh my God, I can't create this much chaos in the world. I'm hurting people. And he's like, go, Peter, go, run, I'll do it. And he, brings it all down and sacrifices himself
Stops the sun,
yes,
the mini sun.
yes, exactly. He stops and, sacrifices himself in order to save the city and everybody around him and Peter.
Yeah.
He was this huge, he's just a smart villain guy, he is who he is. And
Well, that's a lot of the Spider-Man
actually, the
villains
chip was
that,
corrupting him. His arms.
yes,
were corrupting
yes,
his
the arms were
arms.
corrupting him and doing that to him, but he was able to fight back for just a moment and be like, you're right, I have to do this. I can't let this happen.
Spider-Man villains are all very that sort of Wolfman archetype where they're like good people corrupted by something in their
Some sort of,
line of work or an event in their life that changes them and pushes them down the path of villainy.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes Peter Parker's rogue gallery very interesting for the most part. It makes it very interesting when he comes up against characters that are truly like bad guys.
Mm-hmm. Because, yeah, like you said, most of Peter Parker, Spider-Man's villains are like that. Something just happened.
I think
to make them go down the villain route.
also the part of that comic is like Doc Ock realized how fucking much Spider-Man was holding back while he was in his body. Like, so when Doc Ock was in his body, like fighting and
we're
stuff.
back to his.
Sorry, I had a thought. Like, a part of that was like Spider-Man
Yeah,
is so
to
much
learn,
stronger.
Like the Spider-Man.
Like Spider-Man is restraining every single fight he's ever been in since he started
he
being
has the
Spider-Man
equivalent
because
strength
he
of a
will
spider in a
kill
human
everyone.
body.
And Doc Ock realizes this when he's fighting. He's like, wait a second.
That's why it's interesting.
This kid has
to
been
see him,
holding
like,
back the entire time.
Spider-Man v Hulk or Spider-Man v the Thing storylines because he can like let loose. and just,
Yeah,
like-
because they can take anything. Yeah.
Anyways, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's crazy too. Yeah, no, but the whole again, we're talking about good guys. We're supposed to be talking about bad guys.
But he's so good.
Yeah, you know, he does. He just sacrifices himself to save everybody.
Yeah.
Doc Ock, man. You know, obviously watching that movie, I'm like, Doc Ock's not supposed to die. But like, you know, it's a movie. Thanks, Sam Raimi. But you know, whatever. Go ahead.
Let's
Here's
try
your
to
next
get
one.
through another round of these before we wrap it.
Oh no, actually, we've got 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Just
that
about,
Should
yeah.
be about one more round of these.
I think so. Go ahead.
So
I gotta
I
pick
would
which one I want, then.
say Doctor Doom, if we're talking about Marvel villains, he's up there with like a Vader type villain. Like,
Yes, Doctor
if,
Doom.
if
is
there was
going to
be
iconic.
a next big bad for the MCU, it would be like it would have to be Doom.
I think it's supposed to be.
It's that's the rumor right now.
Yeah.
So, like they've been flirting around with other things, but it's really got to be somebody like either Doom or Galactus. We're gonna talk about.
I don't know if I'd like Galactus. I think I'd like Doom better than Galactus.
Yeah, because he's more. He's got a
Like
lot
a
more
real-
charisma. and
yes.
he's more of a a grandiose.
and he's like
villain,
super
and-
smart, you know. Like Galactus is just, I fucking kill you. You know what I mean? Like you're dead. That's just what it is.
And that's the thing too. Like it would give you a chance to build. And then really, probably a lot of it depends on what they do with the Fantastic Four movie that's in production right now. And
Yes.
because he's really their like main villain, and that would give him a chance to build up like that future Foundation and Avengers sort of crossover. But
How are we gonna get mutants?
well, that's happening too. They've
Well,
already.
Because Magneto could be a
Technically-
big villain too.
Yeah, Magneto could, if they wanted to go that route and really push the X-Men side of things, Magneto or Apocalypse.
Let's
But
take a break
yeah,
from
it's gonna be
Apocalypse. I
hard
still have
because-
PTSD from Oscar Isaac.
but we're talking about Doom right now.
We are talking about Doctor Doom. Yes.
Foil
It's
to
Victor Von Doom.
foil to Reed Richards and the Fantastic Four.
Yes.
There is a storyline.
Isn't Doctor Doom like also
All right,
like Iron Man?
all right, calm down.
Villain too,
Joey's trying to talk.
right?
It's shown up in some Iron Man
Yeah.
stories.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's kind of like everyone's villain, but anyway.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So there's a storyline in the comics where Sue Richards now in
Yeah.
the comics is pregnant with their second child,
Who's
Reed.
okay?
Reed and Sue.
I was about to say, I'm like Von Dooms.
No. And Reed and Ben are away on a mission, and she goes into labor, and it's complicated. It's a complicated birth.
Is this the child that is like almost omnipotent?
Yes.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
And it comes down to a point where it's either their daughter or it's going to be Sue. Only
Yeah.
one of them's going to survive.
Okay.
So Johnny goes and gets Doom,
Really?
and he's like, "You're the only one that can do this.
Yeah.
We can't get Reed. He's
Got to
gone.
put aside your differences, and you need to save.
You're the only person that can save my sister."
Yeah.
And Doom, all right, on
He
one
just did it.
condition.
Oh, yeah.
I'll name it when I do it.
He gets to name it. That's what it was.
Yeah, he gets to name their kid. But through his, his knowledge of science, his knowledge of like the occult arts, he's able to save both of them, and then names the kid. And the kid still thinks of him as Uncle Victor,
Damn. What's the kid's name?
Valeria.
This isn't the one I was thinking of.
Valeria. Nice. Okay.
But-
Yeah, that's wild. That's big.
That's pretty big.
It's pretty big. Victor Von Doom is a fucking bad guy.
And then, like, the Fantastic Four are his rivals. Reed's like his biggest nemesis. So stepped up.
What is a nemesis if not your best friend? Yeah, that's great. Yeah, Victor Von Doom is such another very well written villain, and again, one of the big top like iconic dudes. And
Speaking of another villain, iconic in the Marvel universe,
Oh, he's got an iconic and
Magneto.
well-known villain in the Marvel universe.
Do you remember when Charles Xavier died,
I do.
yeah,
and then Magneto stepped up
hmm
when Gondor called for aid? And
these are
became-
different.
Magneto
franchises
has
now.
always
and
had
became
like,
the leader of the X-Men.
he's always had like a propensity to, while his actions are extreme,
Yeah.
Right. He agrees with Charles
time.
though.
right? Like he just wants to save space. And there's been multiple times throughout the X-Men series where it's like, okay, I've got my thing. Leave us alone. I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Unless he's like, nah.
And then somebody's like, well, mutants are dangerous. So what if we threw some Sentinels at it?
Then he's like, let me conquer the
Ah,
rest of
fuck
the U.S.
yeah.
That's like Days of Futures Past sort of thing,
Yeah,
like they go,
exactly.
yeah, like I'm gonna help you, don't worry, we're gonna do this together, and then just to get rid of the Sentinels, and then he's like, I'm actually came here to assassinate, Nixon.
But Magneto put all that down, all of his extremist views, when Charles died, and he became the leader of the X-Men and led it how Charles would have wanted it led, because he respected his friend.
Because what is a nemesis if not your best friend?
Exactly.
Or gay lover.
I don't know if that's
Maybe.
true between the two, but maybe.
At some point, they were.
Charles be fucking, dude.
They
He's got-
definitely
he's got
threesomed a bunch of
wives and
times.
kids and-
Does
with
yeah.
alien species.
Charles is a smooth talker,
Yeah.
smooth thinker,
I'm sure it's got nothing to do with his.
ability to be in your brain. Yeah.
I'll give you a little brain massage.
Hunter, what's your last one?
Another
Charles Xavier giving brain massage.
another great villain. That's a Disney product.
Oh my God.
Diz.
Um,
Is this an actual Diz villain or is this a Marvel or a Star Wars villain?
so
Is this Kylo Ren sacrificing himself to save Rey?
well, it was gonna be Kylo Ren.
Got him.
I guess I have to pick a new one now that you just said that. Good Lord, why would you do something like that?
Hey, it was your lead up, man.
Yeah, Kylo Ren, dude. Again, so this is it's a little bit
You
different.
mean
I feel
Ben
like
Solo?
yes, I was
Fucking
come on, man.
stupid.
Stop taking my leads. Dana was right, bro. Is that what you do? We have people on this show and you just rip their leads from them? Really just fucking getting them, man. Anytime you're just like, oh? Dana was right about you. Anyway, Kylo Ren, sacrificing himself to save Rey. But I think the interesting part of this is, we've been talking about villains that are like iconic, big, super well-known villains who are over the top, always bad guys, just blah-da-da-da. And Kylo, before he decided to be Ben in the last moments of his life, he almost has a story like Darth Vader's, almost, essentially, right? Like a little bit. But it's on a way smaller scale and it's way faster, And it's like he's bad and, he's trying to follow.
I feel like he waffles a lot more
Yeah.
than Vader. Like you always feel throughout the course of the series that he could switch sides at any moment.
Yes. And he also doesn't really have any control over himself, Like he never really learned that until like literally right at the end of his life when it just gets together, And it's obviously we're talking about acts of kindness.
He should have lived.
100%. I think
Kylo
we've
should've
talked
lived.
about this.
Yeah,
I
we've
think
had this conversation on the podcast
Yeah.
before, I think.
yeah, like
Kylo should have lived. He should have had to deal with it, like post everything.
He
That
should,
would have
Either
been
they
a-
both-
he should have been the new Cade.
He would have been the most interesting.
either they both lived or he lived. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy to say, but like he just you know what I mean? Like up until that point, it was like, okay, whatever, fuck Kylo. Okay, whatever. More, fire more.
The only thing coming out of that made like things interesting,
yeah, like
because that leaves questions like at the series ending of like what happens next, like how does this work? Like there's questions with Rey, but they're not as interesting.
But
questions.
because of that, like last moments of his like just the last movie in general too, really like made Kylo for me one of my favorite characters to come out of the what the hell?
Because like if you think about it, at the end of that
sequel trilogy,
sequel trilogy,
I thought it
at the
had
end of the
a-
sequel trilogy, we're
Yeah.
basically left with the same questions we were at the end of Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's just like they just like
Jedi Temple, maybe?
yeah,
Maybe?
that's the only like we're left with the same questions. You didn't answer really like
and just Luke couldn't do it. I don't know. Who knows, really, right? But yeah, he changes almost completely. Like it's one of those kindness acts and redemption acts that like, holy crap, you just became wow. You're now on that level, but you're not like level of big supervillain. You're just level of like wonderful character, So it's just it's a it's one I've put forward that isn't necessarily in the same boat as the other villains, but essentially was a villain, did his kindness act, and now who gave up his life, sacrificed for Rey. Rey Skywalker.
Hey there, dipshits. It's me, Joey, aka Slooty Mage.
I'm Hunter, voice of Hunter Taylor.
And I'm Carter, Eagle Eagle. We're
OlderNDumber.
Every Friday, we drop wisdom, humor, and a whole lot of nonsense. You won't want to miss it.
Become a patron today for as low as $5 a month. Get early access to all our episodes and exclusive behind-the-scenes looks at all the things we're doing and May's super secret editing notes.
Shout out to all our awesome dipshits. Your support really helps keep this madness going.
Join the crew, be a dipshit. It's an exclusive club, and you're invited.
Go Dipshits mark your calendar every Friday for a dose of Older and Dumber craziness. See you there.
Fade to black! On my stand! Fade to black!